So, if you're pricing your Blackheath rental based on the suburb's average rate of like $443 a night, you are basically packing for a vacation based on the average yearly temperature.
Yeah, you're going to completely freeze.
Exactly. Welcome to today's deep dive. We are pulling apart the May 2026 Blackheath short-term rental market report, which we captured on May 20th. Our mission today is figuring out exactly how you can use this data to aggressively optimize your pricing and your positioning.
And looking at the top line data, I mean, the primary warning from this report is against treating Blackheath as just this flat, uniform market.
Okay, let's unpack this because on the surface, the top level data looks great. You've got 137 active listings, an impressive 4.75 average guest rating, about 87 reviews on average, and like I said, that median nightly rate of $443.
Yeah, but taking a macro approach to a market that is this fractured, well, that's how hosts end up leaving thousands of dollars on the table.
Right. So to understand why that average is so misleading, we really have to look at the massive price and quality gaps between different property sizes.
Oh, for sure. The premium step up between the bedroom segments is huge.
It really is. I mean, let's detail these specific segments. If you look at the one-bedroom spots, there are 20 listings pulling a $224 median rate.
And ironically, they have the absolute lowest average rating in the suburb at 4.43.
Wait, the lowest?
Yeah, the lowest. But then, you step up to a two-bedroom property,
Hmm.
and there are 33 listings there. The median jumps to $381.
And interestingly, those two bedrooms hold the absolute highest average rating at 4.86.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is wild when you compare it to the three bedrooms, which is actually the most saturated segment.
Yeah, 54 listings for three bedrooms. They sit at a $442 median rate and a 4.80 rating.
Right. And then finally, you've got the four bedrooms, just 30 listings, but they command this massive leap to a $665 median rate.
So I have to push back a bit thoughtfully here. I mean, why do the two bedrooms have the highest guest satisfaction at 4.86 while the one bedrooms drop all the way to 4.43? Is a two bedroom just like the sweet spot for guest expectations versus host maintenance?
Well, what's fascinating here is how these rating gaps prove that each property type has a completely different competitive baseline.
A different baseline.
Yeah, it comes down to guest psychology. A one-bedroom guest is usually a solo traveler or a really price-sensitive couple, right?
Hmm.
When margins are tight, they scrutinize every little detail.
Oh, I see. They want to make sure they get their return on investment.
Exactly. They are grading on a curve of strict utility.
Huh.
But a two-bedroom guest, usually a family or two couples, they're paying for a shared experience.
They have actual breathing room.
Right. So the perceived value shifts from, did I get a cheap bed to did we have a great weekend together?
Yeah.
That cushion in space honestly creates a cushion in the reviews.
Which means, as a host, you are operating in a highly isolated micromarket. You aren't competing with Blackheath as a whole.
No, not at all.
You are competing with the 32 other two-bedroom properties. Because each property size acts like its own micromarket, hosts need a tailored strategy that goes way beyond just picking a nightly rate.
And that's why you have to look at the premium band threshold. The report pegs the upper tier of the market at $563.
I want to stop there because $563 sounds like a magic number pulled from a hat. How can hosts actually reach that tier without just blindly tweaking the dial and praying someone books it?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the report uses search placement as a highly practical visibility indicator.
Okay, so it's about where you show up in the search results.
Exactly. You have to assess your performance by looking at comparable listings within your exact bedroom segment and your specific booking window. That's how you accurately benchmark your public search visibility.
Oh, wow. So if a guest searches for a two-bedroom for next month, the algorithm doesn't rank you against the whole suburb.
Nope.
It's calculating your visibility exclusively against those other 32 two-bedroom properties.
You've got it. Search placement is your leading indicator. If you aren't showing up on page 1 for your specific property size and date range, raising your price to that $563 premium band will literally just result in empty calendar days.
So the core takeaway for you as a listener is that successful Blackheath hosts just have to abandon those broad suburb averages, right?
Absolutely. You need highly targeted, segment-specific, competitive tracking.
It changes everything about how you manage a property. And I want to leave you with a final provocative thought built right on this data.
Let's hear it.
Since two-bedroom properties yield the absolute highest guest ratings, but the three-bedroom market is, the most crowded and saturated segment with 54 listings.
Yeah, very crowded.
Could a host's most profitable strategy actually be converting a cramped, average-performing three-bedroom into a luxurious, premium-priced two-bedroom?
Oh, man. That is an amazing strategy to think about.
Something for you to mull over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.